Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy. And if you're new here, welcome. I am a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of us struggle with, and that's how to appreciate the journey and not just get so stuck focusing on the result. The first thing I think that we should be aware of is, why is it so hard to appreciate the journey? One big reason is because we want immediate results. If we don't see immediate results, we immediately think that we're a failure or there's no point in doing it. We can get discouraged very easily, especially if we have lower self-esteem or if we're very impatient. We are in an era where things are very instant, especially if you live on the East Coast. The doors open faster, customer service is expected to be quick. We have our phones and we always get the instant gratification. We immediately are able to go online. So we don't entirely learn patience. We always want the instant gratification. We always wanted to see the results immediately. Also, when we don't get those instant results, we may feel like we're doing something wrong, and we want to feel like we're doing something right. So it's easier to quit when you feel like there's no point in it. It's not right. Another huge one is that you get excited over the fantasy. So you fantasize about this certain result or how it's going to be, and then when it isn't that, you then get very demotivated. So you get excited over what you think it will be rather than what it actually is. And so you'll overstep thinking about the steps that it requires to take to get to that point, which leads into you then will set unrealistic goals for yourself, which I think is the biggest problem that demotivates people, is when you don't set realistic goals for yourself or you don't value the small steps, you then will put yourself down or you will completely beat yourself up. So you may set a goal, and then if you don't achieve that goal or it's not going exactly how you want, you tell yourself you suck, you're not enough, there's no point in doing this. So I want to go into why not celebrating your small steps is the biggest problem. I think people not celebrating the small steps is what causes failure. So I have an analogy that I use with my clients that helps them kind of see things more clearly. And the best examples are babies. So let's think about babies. It's our job to help them reach their end goal. So they need to go to the bathroom on their own, they need to learn how to eat on their own, they need to learn how to walk, right? So let's imagine a child. Let's imagine that the end goal is to get them to walk. Imagine you have this baby and they're about to get up and they're about to stand. Now imagine you then screaming at that child. Why are you not walking? You're just standing? That's not good enough. What are you doing? What's going to happen to that child? That child is then going to either become paralyzed and maybe won't want to try again, or when they try, they will immediately cry and they'll feel bad about themselves, or they'll rely on you to always take care of them. So imagine now they are able to get themselves up and now they are starting to crawl. So imagine you again start screaming at that baby. Like, why are you still not walking? How are you able to get up and start crawling but you can't walk? What's wrong with you? There must be something wrong. You're a failure. You suck. Now at this point, some babies are going to give up and some babies may continue on, but they still never feel enough. They still feel like they suck and they are miserable the entire time they reach that end goal. Now imagine the babies that survive from that verbal abuse now start walking. It doesn't mean that much. Like, yeah, it feels good for a moment. Like, yeah, I achieved that, but they still feel terrible about themselves. They feel like failures. They feel worthless. That's exactly what you do to yourself. You are putting yourself down every step of the way rather than appreciating yourself. In reality, most of us, what do we do when it comes to babies? When they start to get up, yay, you did it, I'm so proud of you. What do you do when they start to crawl? Yes, you got it, you keep on going. Those babies want to actually start to walk because they're being encouraged. They're happy. The other babies that are getting shit talked, they grow up to always feel like they're not enough, or it takes them a lot longer to be able to walk because they're terrified or they feel worthless. Now you can apply that to yourself. How do you talk to yourself when you are trying to achieve something? What does your self-talk sound like? If you're the first example, no wonder you're only going to care about the results, because you think that the results is the only thing that will make you happy. You think once you get to that result, nothing else will matter, but that's not true. Because if you don't appreciate now, you won't feel happy later. So how do you appreciate the journey? Well, first thing is that I think it's super important is before you move forward with anything, visualize how it feels. So if you need to do research, then do research. Just try to imagine as much as you can of the steps that you need to take. You want to be as honest as possible with yourself. And you want to pay a lot of attention to how it feels in your body. You'll either get like good, exciting feelings, or you'll feel like, oh, I don't really want to do that. And when you visualize it, you'll feel like it's actually happening. So that's the closest thing you can do to actually doing it. So for instance, you want to start a business, kind of research and visualize the steps of starting that business. So maybe you have to do marketing, maybe you have to buy a place to sell something. Like, you need to think about the steps that you need to take and visualize every step of the way and see how it makes you feel. Or for instance, let's say you want to get that summer beach body, visualize the steps it's going to take. How does it make you feel? Is it worth the risk? Does it still feel worth it? If not, then you may need to change your goal, or you may need to lower your expectations. So for instance, that beach body, if you know you have to go extremely hard and it's unrealistic for you, maybe you are a thicker person and it's not realistic to be a skinny mini model, then you need to lower your expectations, and maybe your end goal is that you just want to be healthy. You want to feel good in your body. Or maybe you realize you don't want to start that business. You actually want to go back to school and start a whole nother thing. The next thing is, don't multitask. Don't do 500 things at once. You ever see those moms, they're on the phone, they're cooking dinner, and they have a baby on their hip, and the phone conversation's going stale, the dinner's burning, and the baby's crying? It just doesn't work out. You can't do 500 things at once. Multiple things will suffer because of it. So you need to prioritize. You need to think about what's your highest top priority and go for that. People can fail and only focus on the result because the journey feels too difficult, because they're overwhelming themselves and they're giving themselves too much. So break things down and try to prioritize what's number one, and then put a lot of your focus into that. The next thing is practice patience, and don't make your end goal everything. Don't use your end goal as a way to feel better about yourself. And don't use it as like you ignore everything else, you don't have healthy boundaries or have balance in your life. You need to practice that patience and understand a lot of things are not instant gratification. You have to work your way up. Rome was not built in a day. So make sure that you spend time working on your goal, but also make sure you have time for other things like social events, alone time, all the other things that you need. Don't forget to eat. The next thing, that is the most important one, is set mini goals and celebrate them. So same thing with that baby. You want to do that with yourself. Let's say you struggle with depression and your end goal is that you want to be able to get back into society. And let's say a big struggle of yours is that you have a really hard time getting out of bed. Set a goal that you're gonna get out of bed and you're gonna get dressed. After you set that goal and you achieve it, make sure to celebrate it. Be proud of yourself. You did that. It doesn't, just because you're not out in society yet does not mean that you can't celebrate the fact that you got out of bed. It doesn't matter if other people could achieve that thing. You achieved that, and you need to be proud of yourself. That was a huge ordeal for you. Be grateful and appreciative of yourself and the things that you are able to do rather than what you're not able to do. And as I always say, when you're having those negative thoughts, make sure you recognize that, and then you're like, wait a minute, that's not me. I need to have me come in and actually lift myself up. I'm doing a great job. I'm going to continue to do a great job. Like, I love myself and I'm proud of how far I'm going and I'm going to go. You need to be your own hype man. Literally with all my clients, I always overly hype them up. I'm like, you did that. They'll say like, oh, I didn't really do my homework, but then they did a bunch of things. I'm like, you did that. Like, you did great. What are you talking about? Like, yes, so proud of you. You need to do that same thing to yourself. There's always room for improvement, but that doesn't mean that you can't tell yourself that you did a good job. It doesn't mean you can't appreciate some of the things that you've already done, or you can't give yourself that credit. Every single time I get a subscriber, I'm so happy, I'm so ecstatic. Like, I imagine all of you in a room and I'm like, that's crazy. You guys aren't numbers to me. It's like, that's such an improvement. It's one small step closer, and I appreciate it so much. And it feels so much better when you appreciate it rather than be like, I'm not there yet, I suck. So make sure not to entertain any of those negative thoughts. You want to encourage those positive thoughts. And I know something that a lot of people fear is that, like, if I celebrate the little things, then what if I just give up on my end result? What if I give up on my goal? What if I just say, oh, that's enough and move on? That's one, you not trusting yourself. And two, if that's a worry of yours, you can always ask yourself, what am I looking forward to? Where do I want to improve? So that way there's that combination of feeling good and like you're doing enough, but also looking forward to continuing that growth and being proud of it. So don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing a great job, even if it's just getting out of bed. And the last thing is, make learning and hard work fun. Get the little kid side out of you. If you need to make it into a game, make it into a game. Enjoy yourself. Try to find ways to make it fun for you. Think about what you enjoy and what makes you happy, and then make it a fun experience for yourself. So maybe you want to play some music in the background and do a little dancing, or maybe you want to, use flashcards to make sure that you memorize something, or have someone else come in and help you out. Just make it an enjoyment. Tell yourself you get to do this rather than you have to. Because if you can't appreciate or be happy where you are now, you sure as hell won't be happy when you get that result. It's just a fantasy of thinking that you'll be happier. This is a topic that means so much to me, about when people don't appreciate themselves for how far they come, or appreciate the journey they're on, like a self-love journey, or a better mental health, or trying to start a business. I always want to shake them, and I want them to feel how proud I am of them, and I wish they could feel that same proud, like, you're doing great and you're going to continue to do great. I just feel so proud of everyone when I see them struggling, and then I see them on that journey of trying to do better. And I hope all of you feel that same passion. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. You guys want an outfit of the day? I look so profesh. Look, so I got this cute little professional shirt, and I got this little cute skirt. So profesh. I probably sound like I'm 19 years old. I would love for you to be a part of the fam. Face, how do you appreciate a journey? What face do you make? Pokemon, gotta catch you. Why is appreciating the journey remind me of Pokemon? I got my little paper. I feel like I'm about to report the news. Reporting live. We have here an animal on the loose. And what do you have to say? Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? We're in the age of time. I appreciate you guys so much. Even for our lost fallen soldiers that have decided to no longer be a part of the fam. I still appreciate and I still love you. Maybe it'll come back around. I'm just so proud of everyone.